Sorry everyone for the first cutoff on the last video, but uh, I barely was able to make it under the 15 minutes limit of YouTube. So, okay, let me try to do a wrap up here of the gunk receptacle number 3. Uh, as you can see, I'm doing quite intense bubbling right now. When I started gunk receptacle number 3, I tried to lower the bubbling, lower the how often I did it per week, and use less intense light, using the other lights that you have seen that used in the other videos, and did not look to do much difference. For gunk receptacle 1 and 2, I did not have a way to regulate the airflow. So always it was the maximum airflow. So I decided that to try to use the maximum airflow each time that I did the bubbling here. Because this tank has a volcano adornment in the middle, built in, I realized that, as you can see, the bubbling gets very restricted. So what I had to do was half an hour in one spot, half an hour in the middle, and half an hour in the other spot to try to get the maximum circulation of nutrients and all the water. But for a while, I would have babies for a little while, but then it would stop again, and I tried the bubbling, and still no new babies. And so what I noted is that there was a lot of eggs against the wall in this level down here. So I took the pipette and filled it with water, and I started water jetting all down here before starting to do the bubbling. And apparently moving those eggs from the bottom with the water jetting before the bubbling, then at last the tank started moving in the direction that I wanted. Okay, anyhow, so I need intense light based on the gunk number 1, number 2. I don't have it this close because it's for the video and it's bubbling. I move it away. I did the bubbling for a while, 2 times a week, but after the water reached the clarity that you saw in the previous video, then I move to only 1 bubbling a week, but still on the 3 spot half an hour. If I would have a traditional 13 ounces tank, I will simply leave it in the center for an hour, and that will be it. And yes, this is not for everyone. I want to underline that because this is build up of 10 months of 3 tanks plus this tank that it was not the gunk receptacle before. So it's over 10 months of build up put into a tank. Why I did this? Because this guaranteed that the eggs will be hatching before I toss away all the gunk. Is there a better approach? There could be. That I will try for gunk receptacle number 4. That instead of doing all this bubbling, and by the way, yes, each time that I start the bubbling, I get a slap on the face with the stink. but that's normal. And then it goes away. I don't smell it anymore. But it's always, yeah. So heads up if you try this approach. And in gunk receptacle number 4, I will do the same. I will clean all the aquariums, dump it in one aquarium, but I will do what I was doing in 1990s. I will let evaporate completely before I put water again. We'll see if that is faster. And second, since the idea is no egg hatching until it evaporates completely, I will not be doing bubbling. I will not doing light. I might do light, but I'm not sure. Anyhow, that's for another video. I will talk about that when I do gunk receptacle number 4. Okay, so now that is the wrap up of the gunk receptacle 3. Now feeding. Okay, no. First this. So I have 4 kind of food. This one. By the way, this one recommend only to feed once a week. So it's perfect for the schedule I have done. I will explain in a moment. This one and this one. Okay. So I was feeding most of the tank until now only once a week. Excuse me, not once a week. Feeding was 1 spoon of food 3 times a week, not 2 days in a row. So about 2 weeks ago, I changed it, and I'm using as example this tank because I decided they have been doing fine, but I decided to try to see how it will go for them. I still feed them 3 times a week, not 2 days in a row, but instead of 1 level spoon, I do 2 level spoons of food. So what I do, always, come on, always one of the level spoons will be of this food, but I alternate the second level feeding spoon every day. So the second spoon will be, let's say, this one on Monday, this one on Wednesday, and this one on Friday. And it's perfect because this one says only to feed them once a week. Okay, so these have been already 2 weeks. They are doing fine, and of course I follow the rule. If it gets too cloudy, then I reduce, but it has been already 2 weeks. It's fine. I'm trying it with this number of adults, I will be trying, and I estimate they are around over 20, maybe 30. Still 3 times a week, not 2 days in a row, but 2 leveled spoons of food. Okay, this one, as you can see in other videos, this was the backup tank that I moved the water from the tank that I diluted 50%. That I found it was not a good idea. It did clear the water of that tank that I diluted 50%, but 10% of the population died. So the next time I do dilution of 1/3 that looks to not harm them, wait 2 weeks and then do the dilution 1/3 again to see the results. But I have no need to dilute at this point, so that is for another video. And now, yep, let me see. Okay, so here is the change of this guy. These guys I have been feeding for 8 weeks by the instruction 4-level spoons of this because it's 4 times bigger. But I was concerned that after 8 weeks, they were still significantly smaller than the rest of the tanks in average. Although they grew more uniformly, I decided, and also I noted that the line in the back was not as dark as the first tank that I showed you. The line was a little clearer. So I decided to increase the feeding rate. I still feed them 3 times a week, not 2 days in a row, but instead of 4 of these, I have increased to 6. And also, instead of exclusively this food, what I do, like I did with the first tank, is to adapt to scale up, and I feed, one feeding is 3 levels scoops of this first food. Always I use this. So 50% is 3 times in one feeding, and then, like I did in the other time, I alternate between these 3 foods, 3 scoops of each food every day. So again, 3 for the Exec Suite tank on Monday of this, then 3 on Wednesday, and then 3 on Friday. So, and I have been doing that 2 weeks, and I think it had helped. Definitely, they look a little bigger than the last 8 weeks. So I don't know if it's the normal growth or whatever, but the important thing is that the water is not becoming murky, and they are happy and they are doing great. So I will continue for this tank doing 3 and 3, alternating the second 3 with the 3 kind of food that I have, and we'll see how it goes. And of course, always checking the murkiness, that it doesn't get too murky. But we have been 2 weeks and doing fine. So those are the changes. So what I'm trying, since the main reason is that they stop producing babies. So I ain't increasing the food rate of these ones that were doing fine as before, to see if now babies start hatching again. If not, at a certain point I will remove them out of the tank and see if the eggs that have dropped hatch. But I estimate that here between 20, maybe 30. So with that number, I use a reference to do the 1-on-1 3 times a week, as I said previously. This one will go away as soon as all of them are grown. We move them out. I simply was taking advantage that there were a bunch of babies and I had to move the adults away. So the babies grow, and as we mentioned in the other videos, and then this will go away. And I already mentioned why increase in the executive suite tank. Okay, and time is running out, and yes, this still bubble because I will leave it 30 minutes in each spot, and then I will leave it alone for a week, and the water will clear, and I will transfer the ones that have grown enough. And important, you see adults or juveniles coupling, move them out, they are ready. And if you see eggs, yep, definitely move that female out because you don't want more eggs added. Okay, time is almost up. Until next video, everyone.